on to the next. So it's Jeannie from A1 Vacuum and Sewing, and I am still working on section 2 of Quilting Through the Seasons. I am going to do this block right here, which is called Stripes. I've done all of these today. That is right. I'm cruising. That's right. I got it. So I already rehooped. This is ready to go. These are going to be 6.5 by 6.5. This is my 7 by 12 inch hoop. I'm going to take my design, and when it comes in center, I'm just going to bump it up, and I'm going to stitch it here, and then we'll do the next and the next and the next. So I'm going to take this and slide it onto the machine. And let's go ahead and take all of this stuff over, and let's load in the design. Okay. So I just finished Gallery 4, which was so much fun. I'm going to go home to clear my screen, embroidery, and the first one, so there's 2 of these. I'm going to do both of them. I'm going to do this one first, which is in section 2. And the design we want is star 6, 6 by 6. So I'm going to go here. Let me go to my USB. I created a file called Quilting Through the Seasons, background quilting, star 6, and we want 6 by 6. And my USB might look different than your USB, which might look different from somebody else's based on what you name your files and how you put them on your USB. So I'm going to go ahead and hit set. You can see my outline of the 5 by 7. I'm going to go to my settings button, which is the notebook paper, and I'm going to switch it over to 7 by 12. That's the hoop that I'm using. And we have to bring in the other part of it, which is going to be the stripes. So let's go ahead and add. Pocket. We're doing all the same stuff. I'm going to go to my Quilting Through the Seasons. This time I'm going to my PES folder. This is part of the base quilt, not the embellishments. And the stripe is going to be piecing in the hoop, and here it is. And set. And the design is 5 by 7, but the quilting design is 6 by 6 and 6.5 by 6.5 once you put it in. We're going to go ahead and just leave it centered. Touch embroidery. It will combine the 2 designs so they'll move together as one. And we are going to go layout. My hoop's already slid on. Move. I'm going to scoot this all the way up because look how much we would waste if we just left it centered. So let's take it all the way to the top. We're going to say okay, and then I want to go to this button where I go forward and backwards colors. That's our first step, which is going to be placement for the batting. And I'm going to grab, this is my first grouping. I'm going to give my batting a little shot of spray. I came into my room, I'm like, why does it look so dark in here? I couldn't figure it out, and then I realized, oh, it's like, you know, evening time. I was stitching all day. I've been stitching all day. Okay, we're going to lay that down. And next thing we're going to do is we are going to skip a bunch of the next steps. Normally all we do is step 1, and then we skip this step, which is tack down for the batting, placement for your background. And then we are going to go to tack down of your background. But we're going to build our background on top of this. So we're skipping the quilting. There's your quilting. We're skipping that. We're going to go to this, which is our template. Okay. And you have to be mindful that maybe this foot might drag around your batting. But we're going to do the template building right on top of the batting. And I'm going to keep my finger here on the start stop in case I need to stop it. Looks like it'll be okay right now. And the quilting will actually be the last step. So if you look right here, this is what we're doing. We're doing this step right here. Stitch the piecing template. I want to take a peek and make sure it looks okay. Stitch the quilting template directly onto the stabilizer or batting. That's what we just did. Now stitch the placement line. Place piece 1 and 2 right sides together. Okay, so stitch the placement line. Here's our placement line. And color doesn't make a difference. I just have coffee in there. That was the last color I was using before. And we're doing these 2 pieces, 1 and 2. So it's going to be the green floral and the polka dot. So this piece right here, green floral, and here is the gray polka dot right here. It says place piece 1 and 2 right sides together. Right sides together on the right side. Aligning one long edge. Place the fabrics with the aligned long edge centered along the left side of the placement line. All right, I was just getting harassed by 2 dogs. I had to kick them out. All right, here we go. So it just stitched this line right here. What you're going to do is you are going to place, this is fabric number 1. You're going to take the gray fabric and put it over here on fabric, that's fabric number 2. And you are going to go ahead and place this on this line, the one that extends out. Do you see that? That's your placement line. It's going to do a tack down right down here, and then you can flip one of the pieces over. So center it to that line. There we go. I'm going to slide this on. You can tape it down, but I'm just going to go ahead and let it do. I'm going to hold it right here and let it do that 1/4 inch. Stitch it down, and I'll kind of walk my hands up as we go. Perfect. And this is the flip and fold. I'm going to give this a little shot of spray. I'm thinking that you could probably press it if you want, but I'm more of a sprayer, you know that. So if you feel like you are out of control with spray and you cannot control it, you can use a folding pen, or you can, where you just put like a dab here and fold it back, or you could use, and I'm putting my hand here just to like block it just in case. There we go. Or you can take it off of your machine and take it to your iron, and I'm just going to kind of go ahead and fold it back like that. Beautiful. Okay, go ahead and slide it back on again. That was step number 3 right here. We folded it back, and now we're going to go ahead and do another placement stitch. So we're going to do this step right here, number 4, stitch the trimming placement line, and you're going to trim the fabric close to the stitch line. So let's go ahead and let it stitch it down. And I'm just going to kind of fold my fabric over here. And we're going to trim that. I tidied up and put all my scissors away, so now I have to find them. We'll go ahead and use these. And then we're going to place fabric 3 centered to that line. It doesn't have to be perfect. Oh man, we've got the worst dog in the neighborhood. I have to get them. They're like making a ruckus. Okay, what was fabric 3? Let's look. And your fabrics are right here. So fabric 3 is the white pretty petals, or the white petals with its flower on flower, tone on tone. It's going to be this one right here. This is fabric 3. You lay it right side down, centered to that placement line. Don't spray anything yet. And Now we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to kind of walk my hands up as we go. Don't use a dark color. This is pretty dark. So you might see it. It says color doesn't make a difference, but probably a lighter color would be better. Not that I'm going to change it now. Okay, spray it unless you're out of control. And then don't spray it. Flip it back. I like to give it a little finger press. All right, repeat. This is going to be your trim placement line. Isn't this fun? Let the machine do the piecing for you. Fabric number 4 is going to be the Aqua Pretty Petal. So it's this one right here. Thank you, Patrick. Okay, go ahead and trim again. Face down on that line that was just sewn and centered to it. Slide this back on and you're going to do your seam allowance, your 1/4 inch seam allowance. And just make sure it kind of stays in place. I'm going to bring that forward. I keep forgetting. I'm going to order us some folding pens. Fold it over. Give it a light. Or I'm a pretty aggressive finger folder. Just going to. Perfect. Put it back on. Go ahead and let it do your 1/4 inch. This is your trim line, placement line. I'm going to give this a trim. Once you trim, it becomes your placement line. And then we're going to place our next piece of fabric. Here we go. Next piece is, and I'm just looking at page 45. This is 5. This is 5, and this is 6. So let's put down piece 5 first. Right side down, centered to that line. This is going to stitch your 1/4 inch seam allowance. I'm going to bring it forward, give it a little shot of spray. Fold it over, finger press, and now it's going to do trim line, placement line. bring this forward. Go ahead and trim this. Last piece, right side down, center to that last stitch, 1/4 inch seam allowance. I'm going to give it a little shot of spray. And press it down. I'm also going to give this side a little shot of spray. And we'll fold this back so it stays down. All right. That was step number 11. Now it says stitch the outer tack down. And if you look at your screen, you're going to see it's going to go just straight across. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then we're going to do the quilting. That was step number 12. And then let's go ahead and we are going to do the quilting stitch. So you're going to have to fast forward because now we're back to the very beginning right there. You're just going to go, and we can touch, it's the green. I'm going to touch in the orange so I don't overshoot. There's the orange and there's the quilting. And it wants us to do the quilting in linen. Linen. So I'm going to go ahead and put in my linen off-white. I'm going to take out my coffee. Thread her up. Oh, and you know what else? I should do the, we should do the, and it says, if using block by block, stitch the quilting design, stitch the outer tack down line too. So we should do the outer tack down so we can fussy cut to that. And that is going to be the step before this. So this goes forward to the next, this goes to the back. We need that so we can fussy cut. So don't forget this step. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hit start, and now it's going to do the quilting design, and I'm going to grab the other stripe so that's done, and we don't have to think about it, because I feel like we're in the mode anyways. We might as well just do the other one too. And I know it's for section 3, but that's okay. Let's just do it. In preparation of stripes 2, let's get our pieces in order. Maybe they're already in order. No, they are not. So we have, looks like this one. So we have, this is 1, 2, and I'm just looking at my picture right here. Three, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, here they are. I'm just gonna put them right here next to me. So those are ready to go. And we will be ready to rehoop as soon as this is done quilting. And I'll make sure this is on the spreadsheet, but for stripes 2, which we're going to be doing, it's going to be time 1 6x6. Time 1 6x6. All right, so I don't know. I don't think we even have to do that, the step 12. We could skip that because we did the whole outline. And now that I've done it once, I think I can do it the second time. Let's go ahead and do it. Wasn't that so easy? And I love piecing the hoop. I think it's fun and easy, and I just like it. So let's go ahead. We'll take these off. And you know what I'm going to do is I am definitely going to, I don't know where my folding pen is. I know we had those, and I had one, but I'm going to order some more because I keep meaning to do that. So this we can cut right off. We don't need this anymore because we have this one on here. I'm going to put this with my finished ones. I'm going to pop this one up. Let's unfold this. little ones. Oh my God, it's sticking to everything. Okay, let's slide it on. And hopefully I'll be able to do one down here. I'll be able to move that around so it'll have enough room. Same thing that we did before. Okay, the difference is the design is the same. The quilting design is going to be different. So I'm going to say, okay, let's just start over. So I'm going to go home, embroidery, because I would have to switch the order of stuff, which would actually have been an okay lesson because you have that option on the Solaris and the Luminaire. So we're going to go into stars. Was it stars? Yeah, it's stars 6. Right here. It's in the middle. We're going to add to that. USB. Go to your folder, Quilting Through the Seasons. And I'm doing my PES, my base quilt. And I'm looking for stripes right here. I'm going to set it. And I'm going to touch embroidery to combine. Layout to get to my move keys. Pop it all the way up to the top. Say OK. And this is the button where we go forwards and backwards steps. We're going to do that first step. I have my, let me put a color that you can see in. And you can use any color. Just choose one that's not too dark. I think I am going to go with cashmere. Because you can see it, but it's pretty light. Okay, we're going to do placement for the batting. And I'm going to spray my batting and the back of piece number 1. That's the 2 things I'm going to spray. Okay, so let me go ahead and lay this down and we're going to stitch the template right on top of this. So we're skipping all our steps. We're going to come right over here and let's fast forward. We're going to skip all of this because we don't need the quilting right now. There's my quilting. There's the template. We are stitching out the template. So let's go ahead and stitch that out. Okay, next step is the first placement line. So step number 2, just go ahead and stitch this, and we're going to place down our strip number 1 and 2. Now, I sprayed this time. I didn't spray it last time, and that way I don't have to spray it while it's in the hoop. And I'm going to take this piece, and I'm going to put it on the placement line, and that's the line that extends out a little bit. And I'm going to center it to that placement line and put the fabric right on it. So there's my line. So you have two lines here. It's not going to be the leftmost line. It's going to be the one to the right of that. Okay, and now we're going to place down piece number 2. Piece number 2 goes right side down, lined up over here on this right edge. And if we want, we can spray this, and that way we're not spraying it in the hoop. I didn't do that with the other one. I sprayed it in the hoop. But what you have to know is the foot is going to want to stick to this. So what you have to do, if you're going to spray it, we got to hold it down here so the foot doesn't drag it around. So the needle's going to go in. And now that it's stitched down, just walk your finger up so it doesn't move that fabric around. If you feel like the fabric is going left or right, stop it and fix it before it makes a big old mess. It's already sprayed. I can just go ahead and finger fold it and lay it down. And everything is laying beautifully. Okay, this is going to be your trim line. Trim and placement. First it's a trim, then it's a placement. Let's go ahead and trim it. All right. This is going to go face down. And if you want to not spray it in the hoop, you can go ahead and spray it, pre-spray it. Lay it down. Just be mindful the foot might stick to the fabric. So I'm going to go ahead and hold it down here. It did pull it up a little bit. Did you see that? It'll be okay though. I'm going to flip it back, give it a little finger press. Okay, this is placement and tack down. Or it's actually trim and then placement. Let's trim it. Next piece, the white with the gold confetti on it. I'm going to make sure it goes down a little further this time. Make sure that the needle goes in there and holds it down when it's stitching. Oop, sorry. Take it and give it a little finger fold and fold it over. Okay, now it's going to do the trim line and placement line. trim this. Okay, here's our next piece, the gray polka dot. Okay, center it to this on that line. Whoops. See, it's sticky. Sticky stuff. And give it a little finger press. Fold it. And then we have one more piece to lay down. And I don't think I'm going to do that stitch that went across the top and the bottom. I'm going to skip right to the outline stitch. Momo here. There's a little bit of Momo and Poppy in every project that I do. Last piece, the aqua pretty petals. There we go. Okay, so the last step is that step that I said I didn't think I was going to do, the top and the bottom. I'm going to go back here to the outline, the tack down for the background fabric, which is that orange right there. But I'm going to touch in the, well, I'm still in the other orange. So I'm going to go down. Now I'm in that turquoise. Now I'm in the orange. That's the tack down for the background. Let's go ahead and stitch this down. And then we'll do our quilting. And now it wants you to do the quilting stitch in linen. So I'm going to take out my cashmere. I'm going to put my linen back in. And we are done with the stripes. This is stripes 2, which is for section 3. And if you get it mixed up, I don't think it's going to make a difference. But how nice is that? We're going to be done with all sorts of stuff from section 3. And next we are going to do the squares. We're going to do these first. Again, it's going to be piecing in the hoop, and then we're going to do the background quilting at the end. get my pieces, make sure I have them. What if you have a piece like mine that's like right at the edge? It's okay because you've got about 1/4 of an inch seam allowance that you're going to be sewing. We're going to trim right to around this edge, around where that edge is. And if your fabric doesn't go right to that edge, it's okay because you have the muslin on the back. So you can sew to that, but you should at least be at that line. If you're in 1/4 of an inch, then you have to be worried because you need something to sew onto. We're about 2/3 of the way through with the quilting. And stripes 2 is done.